Welcome back to another episode. Nah. The BMW X3 was derived from a 3 Series back in 2004. The original generation was known as the E83. The X3 today is a name that needs no introduction. It has solidified its place in our minds as one of the go-to small SUVs when shopping for a German brand. So this X3 competes with your Audi Q5 and your GLC 300. All three of them have a 2-liter turbo engine. Then the interiors, I think now are very closely matched, and performance wise you could say they're pretty much neck to neck. And it's the typical tale of the Germans. Like, they all have their pros and cons. It really boils down to personal preference. The looks, the interiors, I think they're all closely matched in their own right. BMW has kept their simplistic styling. For some it works, for some it doesn't. I think they have improved in the last couple of years though when it comes to the quality of their interior. They don't look as dull as they used to. Now, compared to your Audis and your Mercedes over the years, BMW interiors, are you usually like them or you hate them. They've done a good job. The quality is top notch. Like all of these German cars, you usually get what you pay for, and they don't cheap out on their interiors. Apart from a solid interior, it does have good room in the back and your trunk as well. And it's a nice family vehicle for sure. Very comfortable, which obviously you would say, oh, a comfortable BMW, but I think they've done a smart thing by making this more comfortable, and then you have the sportier version, which is the M40i. In all honesty, the way BMW's been manufacturing these for a while, they do perform really well on the road. And if you are worried about the gas prices, this might not be a bad option. They are pretty efficient. They are very responsive engines. This X3 has a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine that's mated to an 8-speed ZF automatic transmission. It makes 248 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, and it weighs in at 4297 pounds. Yeah, you can fling this car around like a 3 Series. Holds gears where you want it to in Sport Plus, and picks up when you want it to. So all in all, it's a complete package. I think for a daily driver, that's all the power that you need. And handling is very BMW 3 Series. Like, I would actually dare to say that it handles better than the new 330i. As a BMW should, it responds really well. But what I love is like that there's this turbo spool noise that you can hear. I don't know if the mic will be able to pick it up, but I'll definitely give it a try. The modes that you have in this car, that's all you need. Eco Pro, Comfort, and Sport. So Sport, you have 2 modes, Sport and Sport Plus, and then you can also set them individually how you want them. BMW got the cup holders right. Like, they made enough cup holders in this car that you can't complain ever. Like the ones that are on the side of the doors, they nailed it. It's a perfect size. You can have like a smaller bottle, or you can even have a larger bottle in there. And that's something most manufacturers don't get right. And they have 4 of these, so every door has one, and you have enough storage space still in the side of the door. And then you have 2 extra ones that are usually like in the front. So kudos to BMW for getting these right in a family SUV. The positioning of the wireless charger is pretty good. It's right in your line of sight if you look down, so it's not like hidden or anything. So that's something, if it's important to you, you'll find that it's very conveniently placed. The positioning of the heated steering button, I love it, because in the winter time you don't want to be hunting for the heated steering button, because some cars have it here, some cars have it here. It's just too much work, I find. This is perfect. You sit in, you know where your heated steering is. Yeah, you can fling this car around like a 3 Series. It does not feel heavy when I'm cornering, so that is a big plus in my opinion. The side bolsters, you can actually adjust them to how you like. If you like a more aggressive feel, you can adjust it to hug you more. If you like a more relaxed feel, you can adjust it how you like them. Surprisingly, in comfort mode, I find it is actually really comfortable, and much more than usual when I say that. It is softer than usual, which actually made me like it more, because if it's in comfort mode, it handles the bumps and potholes really well. So that is an added bonus, because if you've been staying away from a BMW because of their sportier feel, you still get that, but you also get a lot of comfort in these. I've always been very critical of the BMW side mirrors. They are always on the smaller side, and I know it's to do with their styling. From outside, if you look at them, they look amazing. Functionality wise, I don't know, it takes a while for you to like figure out the best setting. If you look at other manufacturers, doesn't matter what it is, like there's more field of view. Another thing that if you're not used to it, it might be an annoyance. A BMW, when you're trying to open the hood, instead of doing it like pulling it once, you have to do it twice, even though it says on there. But if you just like got out of some other car and came into this and you're trying to open the hood, I just found it annoying, and it's another dislike that, you know, maybe like in the grander scheme of things is not as bad, but it certainly is a dislike for me. Lack of steering feel is something that I don't associate any BMWs with, but this particular model, I do think it is on the softer side, and it could be that BMW went a little soft on these models, because if you want something sportier, you can go for an M4Di, which is a better engine, better suspension. It's through and through sportier and more fun to drive, I guess. The steering setup on these, I don't know, I find them a little confusing, because when you hit the menu button, it actually comes on your heads-up display instead of coming on your cluster. So in the beginning, I was a little confused where I'm looking at, but once you get used to it, it's actually not bad. Their infotainment systems like are a hit or miss. They have come a long way, but I think some people might agree that they're not the best. When the 2-liter turbos is the sound they make. There is no sound actually. Like it's pretty muted. Who is this car aimed for? I'd say it's aimed for young professionals who want to like travel in comfort style and want a little bit of sportiness in their cars. And at the same time, I find because it's a 2-liter, you do get the efficiency for gas mileage. And if you're worried about, you know, gas prices, again, most cars that take premium, they're all pretty closely matched depending on how big your tank is. And you can even take retired folks into the conversation who are not looking for an M4DI to be zipping around town. I would recommend that you look at the Q5 and the GLC 300, and I have had the chance of reviewing both of them. So if you're interested, the links are in the description, and you'd be surprised how closely matched all these cars are.